Why self life? We got London on the track. Nigga, horses don't stop, they keep going. Yeah. You can lose your life, but it gon' keep going. Why not risk life when it's gon' keep going? Yeah. When you die, somebody else was born, but at least we got to say we ran on the digit, we ran on the money, we ran on the digit, we ran on that money, we ran on the digit, we ran on that money.
Alright, we're going to start this build off how I start all of my builds off, with the triangle, square, triangle foundation type. And then straight off that, I do triangles all the way around, besides obviously the 3 spots where I have to put squares. Oh no, it's 4 spots, or no, 3 spots, it's 6 spots, my math is bad. Which I then put triangles inside of it, that is done there. The foundation gets a bit bigger than this because I end up building circles off of each of these and then kind of just incorporating them in to make them fit better, as I do there. So I just go around every side and do it. It gets faster on every side because on the first one I didn't really actually think I was going to do a full circle, but it turned out like that and I am happy with it. So obviously another circle on this side, and we're done. I do all my exits on all the points of the circles. Obviously you could compound this. I end up not doing it. Normally I do with my bases, but this one was just so symmetrical and clean looking that I just couldn't bring myself to building a sloppy compound around it, and you know, having to build boxes and shit like that. So I start walling it up, and then each of the circles becomes one big long airlock, and the TC's in the middle. And that's about all there is on this floor, besides, I believe, a single drop box loot room for each wing. I'm going to start calling them wings as well, so take a note of that. So as you see in that wing, it's really just a, you know, straight, and you could probably get more bang for your buck with the amount of circle you have there, but I really just kind of wanted to make it less airlock in the wing because I didn't believe it was necessary with the amount of airlocks that the space has. I started spawning in doors and stuff here to go along with that. Obviously the space took a lot of doors. This space takes a lot of everything. It doesn't look like as big of a base from the outside as it actually is. It's got a big profile on it, but like you don't really notice how massive it actually is because the footprint is so wide. You don't really get a scale for how tall it is. It's a pretty like lofty base, even though you can't really see it. Although the top 4 floors are just 3 circles, so. I had a video lag there, or at least it was lag on my display up here. I'm not sure if that's gonna render out as lag. It might smooth out in rendering, but not sure. So if that was lag, sorry about that. It was just kind of one little freeze that I saw, if you guys didn't see it. So I ended up building through here, but I didn't actually let there be passage all the way around on the first floor, so they can take the entire first floor from breaking in one wing. Then I built these little loot rooms at every single one here. Just little drop box areas for, well, in and out operations. Obviously in a compound you could have outside drop boxes as well as separate buildings to drop off loot in, and this could be like your main big muchacho. Here I, just kind of filled it in. I did doors all the way through, and obviously we have the ladder hatches. So as I put in the last one here, you can kind of see the layout of the first floor. Bam, there we go. We've got workarounds. Well, not workarounds, roof. I don't know why I said workarounds. We've got roof all the way through here. And this floor is a good portion done, as long as we get these roofs on. So that's the gist of the first floor. Now we just put in our hatches. It does look a little bit weird having 3 circles on it instead of 4, because it's almost non-symmetrical, even though it is symmetrical. You just kind of got to look at it right. But having a triangle made out of squares is a bit of a weird look. So we get our door there, and that's going to be our access to the TC. And there's still, on the second floor, is not going to be a link between all of the floors. All the floors actually stay separate until pretty high up, even with loot rooms and stuff. So you gotta, if you're building a space and you're keeping it how I keep it without connecting the loot rooms, you have to know how to separate your loot properly. And, you gotta be somewhat organized. And, you kind of learn where the stuff is in your own base. So I built honeycomb all the way around the first layer, and then on this floor we get a little bit of, I'm not sure we got a little bit of in here. I think this was the loot room floor, so we'll just kind of have to go, we're going to have to wait and see, and it's going to be a surprise with what's inside the space, because I honestly forgot, but I believe this floor is the loot room floor. I mean, it would make sense. So yeah, as you can see here, I separate the areas as it has been. We get the doors in here, and that's about that for that floor. So yeah, we put boxes in here, and obviously kind of circular loot rooms, which I think I did well with fitting 8 boxes in them. Obviously you could fit more, but it's not going to be as cleanly and spaced as this. I think jamming everything in one spot is efficient, but it's not always effective, especially for finding what you need to find in a pinch. And then just door everything off as I've been doing. Everything is very doored off on the lower floors of the spaces. I try to keep it as compact as possible. Well, not compact, that's the wrong word. Just packed down almost. So with the space for this floor, it's really the same living room, replicated a lot of times, so that's why I'm not really talking a lot. Once again, 2 square living room, 4 circular living room. A lot of the same thing on this floor, which is what's going to happen as all the floors stay pretty symmetrical up until we start getting the fighting floors. And even up there, they're not as, or they're still somewhat like, well, at least somewhat symmetrical at the very least. They're still very symmetrical. And just, finish up the floor on this floor. So that's 1 and 2. 3 is going to be our furnace floor then. This video process has been a long one, and I'm glad I'm finally getting a recording done. Because this base was recorded Friday night, the build, in 2 separate parts, about 3 hours apart. And now the recording's being recorded on Monday night. So this entire process has been a bit stretched out, so it's good to finally see it getting done and getting a new video out. So yeah, this is laid out very similarly, honeycomb-wise, to how the last floor was laid out. And in fact, the same areas are utilized, with the rest of it just being mostly honeycombed. And I put a lot of furnaces on this floor. Like a lot of furnaces, more than you would possibly need. But then again, you are going to need a lot of furnaces if you're leaving in a base that costs this much metal to upkeep. The upkeep on this base, for anyone wondering, is going to set you back about 45,000 a day. Yeah, that's right, 45,000. That much metal can't even fit in a TC, so you have to be on at least every 10 hours to replenish this. This base is definitely a big boy for upkeeping. Obviously, you're probably not going to be building on vanilla, so you can probably just stuff 100k in there and you're good for the wipe. Well, at least for, 3 days. But still, you're going to need to, keep this base up. This is not a base that's low maintenance. This is a very high maintenance, high build time base. The estimated time to build this on a vanilla server, with all the possible resources ready, we're probably going to be looking at 10 hours of work with, standard setbacks. With no setbacks whatsoever, you can probably get it done in 8. But these bases are not easy on vanilla. I've built ones, fractions that size that have taken, 5 hours to build. Building on Rust is a very, time-consuming action. Building stuff like this. As you can see right there, I messed up the placement of the hatch, so I will have to change that up momentarily. So yeah, the doors are wrong there. The hatches need to be changed. Yeah, there's the little moment of realization when I figure out that doesn't need to be there, it needs to be there. And the hatches are resolved. to floor up this floor, and it's a majority completed. So yeah, that's some good work right there. Right here I take a momentary break, so if you're building, use this as a possible opportunity to catch up, if you will. I'm not sure how long this break runs for, but probably won't be much longer. I'm just going to kind of keep talking through it. Yeah, there we go. I believe there's one more about that same length later. And I believe that break there was to grab earbuds or change a song or something, so I think I would die if I wasn't listening to music and I had to go through all these builds just staring at the screen and listening to the metal sound. Once again, me stalling because I'm still changing the song. That's normally what most of my breaks are, either grabbing my headphones or changing up music. So whenever there's a little stutter like this is a bit of a longer one, but it's frequently just to change music. This is a long one now, not sure if I was like looking through a playlist or what, but normally I would cut these. There's a lot more and I just didn't have time to watch through the video completely once and then watch through it completely again for recording and then watch through it again to finalize. Because that's 3 hours of watching my own video, and this video is already long overdue, so there we go, we're back to building now, we're back on the road. We actually just hit 80 subscribers as I'm recording, just got a notification for that, so anyone watching, thank you all for being subscribed. It means so much. There's been so much growth in these last few months, and it's amazing to watch, so thank you all. We did it. 80. 20 more to 100. So for this floor, we actually use these as bedrooms, and we have our communal area on this floor, community area, which is a nice little touch, if you will. So right here we just kind of box off the ways in, and we keep that center area open and grab all the friendly little community stuff that we could ever possibly need, like beds, barbecues, water holders for some reason, all that great stuff. Keep up the morale of the clan so they keep farming for you. And this makes about half of the build. Because yeah, that's about 20 minutes we're reaching, and this build is almost exactly 40 minutes long. And I did that as a little like cover. It's like to elevate a campfire, but the real purpose is obviously to be vertical honeycomb in disguise. And we keep that little campfire burning for a while, so that just dropped a bit of extra wood in it. Keep it going. then floor up this floor, as I've been doing. And I think I go back and continue to build a little bit once the floor is done, if I'm not mistaken, which I might be, because I frequently am. One thing I've noticed is that editing a video with any certain song ruins the song for me. So, for example, Digits, the song in the intro of this video, Digits by Young Thug, I believe. I freaking love that song, and now I just can't listen to it at the moment because I had to listen through it a bunch of times while editing this video, and now I'm just a little sick of it. So I've just kind of made notice of that this ruins songs for me. So that's why I like using kind of discrete EDM songs that I normally wouldn't listen to on my own frequently, and they also make really good editing music. So that's why you see a decent bit of EDM, or even in the last video, Trapanese, that's comedy rap, that's still hip-hop I wouldn't really listen to on the usual, and I think it's so much better for editing with because I don't have to ruin the song for myself. Here's another playlist swap break, and there we go. A little chat with the locals here, and we get back to building, as we frequently do. When you build bases this big, it sometimes draws attention on servers like these because people are annoying. That's why I keep my do not disturb on, or not do not disturb GTFO, so people are get the fuck out, because I don't really like people inside of my builds when I'm trying to build. So yeah, that's the name of the game. So I just put a roof on this floor, and that makes this floor about done. The next floor is very similar to this floor, except for the fact that it's going to have pillbox windows, or slot windows if you prefer calling them that. I prefer calling them pillboxes though, because yeah. How would anyone watching and comment to respond? How does the audience or anyone watching feel about me starting to collaborated builds, so work with other builders that I know and kind of build bases like that together, where we just we both work on the same thing and talk to each other, and we just kind of build as we go, like I do with these, but do it with someone else to make it more fun, because I do know quite a few good builders in Rust, and I think that it would be cool to do collab builds if I could figure that out. So yeah, I just put windows in these and then block it off to separate them, so if you get into these, you don't get into the entire floor. I think it's good to segment floors but keep them open so that you can still get around easy but do have barriers. But then again, don't put something in the way of everything, because that makes it a lot harder to just function. So I'm gonna end the video, or my recording here at 25 minutes because I really have to stop recording here for a minute. So here at 25 minutes and about 60 seconds, I'm gonna swap over. So yeah, we just did 25-ish minutes. So switching over to recording number 2. Alright, welcome back. It still loops. So as you can see here, we're just putting these little covers slash, airlocks almost onto the pillboxes, and then just starting to roof up this floor on the circles, as well as on the pillboxes, as well as everywhere. Take my headset off here. We put the roof on the floor, and yeah, that's about it. That's essentially all I do for this floor. There's not a whole lot to be done, essentially, with this area. The next floor is where it starts getting fun, I promise, and that next floor is where the helicopter pad is. Once again, we do have a helicopter pad on this floor. Then I just put windows all in here and roleplay roofs. Those are all fun. Roleplay roofs all fit in well, and it all works together here. I kind of experimented with what I could do with the second floor here, but I decided to just keep it as is. As well as put in my ladder hatch to the previous floor. There's not a whole lot to narrate because what I'm building here is pretty simple. I'm really just building heli towers on all three corners of the base. So right about here, I'm going to cut out. Thank you all for watching if you've made it to this point, which, you know, obviously you're probably building if you've made it to this point. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to render this video and go to bed and hopefully get it up tonight. So thank you all. Peace out. Oh yeah, and subscribe if you want. Also that. I got to start asking for that.